Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya, and we are in game number 1 of the final matchup for round 2. This is going to be DoggPound versus gearv0sh, and gearv0sh playing for the SC2 Armory site right now, which, as I had mentioned previously, I am a part of, and so I am rooting for gearv0sh, and this is actually the brains behind the operation, the man that runs the SC2 Armory site. So definitely props to him for running such a great community site for StarCraft 2. I am very excited to see how he does in this tournament. I've never actually seen him play personally, but DoggPound he is playing against is the green Protoss here in the top middle of the map. This of course being Lost Temple, and DoggPound is playing for Vile Gaming, and gearv0sh as the purple Terran on the mid right here. It looks like he is going to be setting up his first base out here, or I'm sorry, his first building rather, his supply depot here, right out at the entrance with the, and he's probably going to be putting another barracks and supply depot there to create a firm wall off, which will allow him to defend very easily against any early rushes. And unfortunately for him, it looks like the first probe for DoggPound is actually going to scout in exactly the right direction to find out where gearv0sh is to start. And it looks like he is putting his barracks up, but actually slightly out of position. One supply depot will not be able to block off the rest of this entrance here. So a slight mistake from gearv0sh, it looks like so far, unless he just prefers to leave a small gap there for some reason. I'm not sure, but we'll see what he how he lines up the front of his base right there. Scouting at the bottom first and seeing obviously that DoggPound is not there, so he's going to move on to the left side of the map, and then ultimately to the top. So he is going to scout the base of DoggPound at the very last time, or his very last base on the trip around the map here, while in the meantime DoggPound has all the intel inside gearv0sh's base that he needs. So unfortunately, oh no, and he pulls all of his SCVs off of his mineral line trying to chase down that probe, and unfortunately still did not get him. I have seen some people, if you can get 5 or 6 mineral workers here and manage to catch a probe or other scouter right in the middle of the mineral line at the right time, you can actually get him trapped or surrounded and manage to take it out, which you do lose a little bit of mining time, but if you can pull it off and get that scout killed early enough, it can actually pay off having the ability to be able to surprise your opponent with a different tech pattern than what they were expecting. And it looks like one Marine coming out for gearv0sh, he is able to take down that scouting probe. And as you can see here, between the barracks and the supply depot that's going up right now, there is a slight gap. So once again, I'm not sure if gearv0sh did that on purpose or if this was just a slight mistake by him. He does, however, have a second barracks up and running, and it looks like he is going to move his barracks, the initial barracks, over and finish the wall off with a third supply depot. So perhaps that was indeed on purpose, and I've just never seen somebody do this particular build. But anyways, one Marine moving out on the map, it looks like going to do a little bit of scouting, and 3 zealots for DoggPound right now. Actually 4 moving out, 1 straggling behind the others just a little bit, and it looks like he did chrono boost some of those zealots out, so we'll see if he's going to put some pressure on. It looks like they have stopped short just outside the base of DoggPound, so I'm not sure if he, okay, yeah, he was just waiting for that 4th zealot to catch up there. It looks like he is going to be moving across the map here to put some pressure on gearv0sh, and right now he only has 2 Marines inside his base. He is producing a couple more right now, but I don't know if those Marines will be able to take down these zealots before they're able to snipe one of these supply depots. So there is some SCVs coming out right now, and as you can see, there was 1 Marine over at the Xel'Naga watchtower, so he was 100% aware of these zealots moving over to try to do some pressure here, and it looks like those Marines are going to force the zealots to back off. And there are 2 more Marines coming out right now, so a lot of Marines right now for gearv0sh right now. He is able to keep the pressure off of the front of his entrance, at least for the time being. And another barracks going down for him as well, but there are no add-ons yet, so he does not have the ability to double produce Marines, and he does not have the ability to produce Marauders or Ghosts or Reapers. So we'll see if he continues to move his tech forward. As of right now, he's got 2 refineries up and running, but he has no tech beyond the barracks, although it does look like he is getting a Ghost Academy, which EMP is absolutely wonderful to use against a Protoss player. And yes, I just said wonderful. I know that's a weird word to throw into a StarCraft 2 VOD, but I have a strange vocabulary, so what can I say? But there are 2 tech labs going down right now, so it looks like he may be producing 2 Ghosts simultaneously here shortly, although there are currently 2 Marauders coming out on the map. And if we take a look at the production overlay here, we can see that in addition to the Marauders building, he has concussive shells being researched, as well well as a reactor going down at his third barracks. So getting a lot of add-ons now, and it looks like he does have the ability to go ghost. He does not currently have cloak researching, nor does he have a nuke upgrade going, so it looks like he is just going to be using the ghost strictly for EMP. But anyways, back at the Protoss players base, there is a second robotics facility going up right now, although currently there is no robotics bay, so he is not going to have the ability for Colossi for the time being, but Immortals can actually be somewhat strong against Marauders. Unfortunately though, for DoggPound, there are a decent amount of Marines on here as well, which Marines actually counter Immortals pretty well, because Marines only do 6 damage without any upgrades, which 6 damage is lower than the amount of hit points that it takes to activate the hardened shields for the Protoss Immortals. Although there is now a robotics bay going down, so although he just canceled it apparently, so I'm not sure why he did that. There are 2 Immortals coming out, so we'll see how this plays out. Like I said, the Marines are actually a pretty good counter against Immortals, so if they can actually get enough Marines on these Immortals in addition to the Marauders that he is building in his base right now, he may be able to very effectively take those Immortals out. We will have to see how this plays out here shortly though. A lot of infantry units for gearv0sh right now, and he has not teched towards medevacs or anything like that, so he is strictly going to be working with the Marines, Marauders, and a couple ghosts in the mix now from the ground. Meanwhile, back at the Protoss base though, it looks like he is preparing to build some, he has his first 2 Immortals going out right now. It's still only 2 gateways, so it looks like he is going to rely pretty heavily on this combined technology attack here. Another Immortal coming out from one of his robotics facilities right now, although the second robotics facility is not yet producing another Immortal. But looking at the income tab here, we can see that there's actually a pretty significant advantage on the income for the Protoss player right now. He has about 200 minerals per minute of an advantage on gearv0sh right now, which is very unfortunate for you SC2 Armory fans, but there is a factory going down for gearv0sh right now, so it looks like he may be working his way towards that starport tech so that he can start getting out some medevacs to support this infantry army, which with the Stimpak and medevacs, infantry armies can be absolutely devastating, especially if you back them up with just a few tanks. But it looks like gearv0sh is going to move across the map here, taking the Xel'Naga watchtower real quick right outside his base, and it looks like he is going to try to push up there. 3 Immortals on the high ground, and it looks like a lot of Zealots on the low ground, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. Oh, and a great EMP going down, taking down the shields for a lot of those Protoss Zealots, and it looks like he is going to move up here, take out the pylons and buildings that he was trying to put up here. He has to cancel the Nexus and the 2 cannons that he was warping in, and only a few Immortals. DoggPound saying, yeah, I've been sucking so hard. So apparently he is not at all happy with the way he's been playing, and it looks like he's actually supply blocked with the loss of those 2 oh my goodness, and another EMP going down right there. Although an EMP on those Immortals would absolutely be clutch, because it takes down all of the shields for the Immortals. You can see the Immortals only have 100 shields, which is exactly the amount of shields that the EMP takes away. And of course the hardened shields of the Immortal, once those are gone, and looks like DoggPound just rage quits, so he doesn't even GG to gearv0sh. But game 1 going to gearv0sh for the SC2 Armory site. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's gearv0sh or gearv0sh. I've kind of been saying it both ways, but anyways, GG to him. We're moving on to game 2 right now.